Hey loves, it's me Raya. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be telling y'all how to grow healthy locks in 2025. If you already started your locks, planning on starting your locks, I'm going to give you my tips and tricks to be able to grow healthy locks so that your locks can flourish. And this is coming from somebody who has dyed their locks, bleach. So stay tuned for the tips so that your locks can be healthy and long by the end of 2025. Okay, so I do have all of my tips written down right here on my phone. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at because I wanted to make sure I cover everything in this video and don't leave anything off. So the first tip that I have, and these are in no particular order, but the first tip that I have is taking care of your body. And like, I want to put a lot of emphasis on that, taking care of your body. Anyone can sell you the best hair oil, best hair growth products, different stuff like that. But if you're not taking care of your body, that can definitely like stunt your hair growth, your skin, different things like that. Like, you need to take care of yourself. So that includes drinking water, taking your vitamins, proper sleep, your mental well-being. Like, are you stressed out? Are you eating well? Like, stress can cause a lot, and I've talked about this before, stress can cause a lot of things in your life. Like, it can factor when it comes to acne with your hair, because you're stressed out, so your body is just kind of like all over the place. So is your mental well-being good? Are you drinking a lot of water? Now, on the water one, I do slack on a little bit. It's important to drink a lot of water. Water helps with your skin, it helps with your body, it's gonna help with your hair. Are you taking your vitamins each day, like daily multivitamins? Are you getting enough sleep? Like, these things are very important when it comes to your hair growth. So I definitely wanted to emphasize that at the start of this video, to take care of your body, and the rest will kind of fall into place along with other proper maintenance. But take care of your body. Please take care of your body. Next thing I do want to talk about is genetics. So another thing is, you may look at somebody's hair and wonder why their hair is so thick and full and growing fast. Genetics can play a part in that as well. Like, does their family, like, does that run in their family and stuff? So keep that in mind when your hair or your locks don't turn out like someone else's, because genetics, how they take care of their hair, different things like that all play a part in, you know, how your hair is going to turn out. Next tip is washing your locks. Like, do you have a routine? It's good to have a routine for washing your locks. Like, you don't want to be washing your hair, oh, one time you're washing it once a month, the next time you're not washing it till 7 months later. Like, you need to get a routine. And some of y'all probably looking at me crazy, like 7 months later. Some people do only wash their hair, you know, once or twice a year, to each their own. I want to wash my hair at least once a month each month. So that's just my preference, at least washing your hair once a month. And that's usually when I get my retwist, at least once a month. And you want to build that routine so that your hair knows what to follow, and build those products that your hair likes, and finding out those things and what works for you, and not always going based off what someone else does. Like, it's good to take product recommendations and stuff, but sometimes you do have to just play around with products and find out what works for you, because what works for someone else may not work for you. So keep that in mind. And a lot of stuff also plays in the part with that, like your hair porosity, thickness of your hair, different things like that, your hair texture. So keep that in mind when figuring out your routine for your locks, because everyone's hair is different. And I know some people do not like to hear that, but it's the honest truth. Everyone's hair is different. With building that routine, another thing to keep in mind is to not retwist too often, because I see a lot of people that when they get their starter locks, or people that just been doing this their entirety of having their locks, is they will retwist way too often. Like, they're getting retwist every 2 to 3 weeks. That's not healthy for your hair. Like, even if your hair texture is more loose, you should not be retwisting unless you are advised by a cosmetologist, a licensed cosmetologist, loctician, someone of that sort. You should not be just retwisting your hair that often, because that can lead to thinning and breakage, and you wonder why later your locks are so thin and your lock jam, because you were constantly retwisting every 2 weeks. I personally recommend for myself, and what I do is every 4 to 6 weeks. Every 4 to 6 weeks, because I don't like to wait too long, because I am tender-headed, so I have nothing against people who wait like 3 to 4 months. If that works for you, it works. So there's nothing against that, because you don't want to retwist too often and also not retwist enough. But again, if that works for you, it works. But the thing is, I don't like to wait too long, because if I wait too long to do my retwist, since I'm tender-headed, that stuff is going to hurt. The retwist is going to hurt. Like, no, it's going to be a little uncomfortable. So I like to do every 4 to 6 weeks for retwisting my hair. Unless I have like some type of protective style in, then I'll wait a little bit longer and it's not too bad, but I'm not waiting like 3 months. Like, 1 to 2, but 3, 4, 5 months, no, that's way too long. So yeah, don't retwist your locks too often, because that can lead to thinning, it can lead to breakage, and that's just not good for your hair. Like, your hair needs time to breathe, to flourish, and to take in, you know, the process of letting them grow. Like, don't stunt your growth by retwisting way too often. My next tip is to hydrate your locks often and oiling your scalp / locks. I have talked about this before on my channel, but you want to hydrate your hair. And I know this has a little bit of controversy, because some people be like, oh, you don't need to hydrate your locks, that doesn't do anything, y'all make all these different things and these different sprays, they don't do anything for your hair. To each his own. Do what you want. It's your hair. It works for some people, it works for other. If it works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But since I started my locks, I was always hydrating them. That's what I was instructed to do by my loctician, and it's worked for me. So to each his own with what you want to do with the information, you know, take it with a grain of salt. But I suggest hydrating your locks, because as a lot of people say, your locks are like a plant. So you want to water them and nourish them so that they can grow and they can flourish. So that's just my personal advice. So I do hydrate my hair usually, if not every day, I try to every other day. But now that my locks have matured more, I do kind of slacken that a little bit. But I try to do every day / every other day for hydrating them. And then I try to oil my scalp 1 to 2 times a week, because I do have low porosity hair. So if I oil my scalp too often, that oil is just going to sit on top of my head. So like I said, you need to know your hair porosity, because that plays a factor in the products and how you're using them. As for different products and sprays, I do have a video already on my page, which I'm going to go ahead and put up here in the cards at the top. I do have a video going over my favorite lock products of 2024, but a few of my favorite brands is As I Am, Camille Rose, Carol's Daughter, and those are just a few of the brands that I recommend. I do have other recs as well, but those are some of my favorite brands that I can think of off the top of my head. And if y'all want me to list any products or give more product recommendations, I can. The next tip that I have is to leave them alone. Don't style your hair too much. So leave your locks alone. Like I said, you don't want to retwist too often, and you don't want to constantly get a style every time you get a retwist, because that's not good. You need to let your hair breathe. Like I said, you need to let it breathe so that it can flourish and grow. Don't get a style every single retwist. You don't need to get 2 strands every single retwist. You don't need to get barrel twists every single retwist. You don't need to get those styles every single retwist, because that can lead to breakage and thinning as well. You need to let your hair breathe and not get a style each time you retwist. So leave them alone. Don't, constantly playing in them, picking with them. Leave them alone and watch them grow. Like, that's just a straight advice for that. Just leave them alone. Don't style too often and let them be. Okay. My next tip is to cover them at night / downtime. So at night, you want to make sure you're covering your hair with either a scarf or a bonnet, or you can do both, either or. And also, I said downtime. So if you're just sitting at home and you're not doing anything, you're not going out, cover your hair up, especially if like you're laying around on a couch, in the bed, wherever, because that is how you can get lint in your hair. Like, it's so simple and easy to get lint that, you just kind of don't really think about it, but you can get lint in your hair so easily. So cover your hair up when you're, at home and not doing anything, just so you can help prevent from that lint from those pillowcases, from on the couch, whatever. Just cover up your hair to protect it, but especially do it at night so that your hair is not getting all that friction at nighttime if you're not keeping it covered, like from your pillowcases. And so that can cause like the frizziness and stuff, and it's just not good for your hair. Another option, if you don't like bonnets and scarves, or it just doesn't work well for your hair, is to get like a silk / satin pillowcase. So that way your hair is still protected in some way if you choose not to wear, a bonnet, a scarf, or do-rag or something like that. So that's my next piece of advice for like protecting your hair, and that in turn, helps with them growing. So my final tip is to be patient with your locks and don't compare them. So this, I feel like, is probably one of my best pieces of advice here, is because you need to be patient with the process. I know so many people try to rush the process, but don't do that. Be patient, give them time to grow, and I promise you will more than likely love them. If you don't, you could always comb them out, but give them time, like give them at least a year plus, like a little bit over a year to, more so fall in love with them, play around with styles. So like I said, don't over style, but, try different styles. If you want to dye your hair and you don't want to use bleach, there are different dyes out there. There's wax, the hair wax and stuff. So, you know, play around with them, experiment, try different styles and stuff, but, you know, take care of them, do the research. Don't just try stuff without researching. Please research. The other part that goes with being patient is to not compare your locks to someone else's. So when I say don't compare them, is don't look at somebody's journey and then wonder why your lock journey isn't like theirs, like why yours are taking so long to lock versus theirs took no time. It's because your hair and their hair are two different heads of hair. So you need to understand that and to not compare every little thing when it comes to the lock community and stuff like that, and hair community in general. Just do not compare your hair to others. Like, you can take inspo from people, but don't get upset when your hair doesn't look like theirs or it doesn't turn out like their locks, because all of that plays a different part. Like I said, your hair density, your hair porosity. So just because somebody may have a certain count of locks that you see and you want to get, that may not work for your hair. So you need to figure out what's going to work for your hair, your head shape, your hair density, your hair type. All of those different things play a part in that. So don't compare your locks to someone else's and be disappointed down the road later. You need to embrace the journey for what it is and, you know, embrace it as your own. You know, it's your lock journey, not someone else's. And block out any people that are judgmental and just distractions and stuff, unless they're actually giving you good advice. Now, like, take the good advice, but people that are just being mean and hateful and just trying to talk down about your hair, because I know, like, a lot of people say like they struggle with the starter lock phase and stuff because of how they look. So just be patient, give them time. If you want to, you know, you can put a wig over them or different styles over them. That works, but, you know, it's important to let your hair breathe, so don't overdo that either. But yes, don't compare your hair. That's like just my main tip. Just don't compare. Embrace it as your own, and, you know, love your hair for your hair and take care of it, and I promise it will flourish. You know, take care of your hair and it will grow. So that's basically all the tips that I have for y'all. I hope that this video was very helpful, informative, and that y'all take and use this advice. Advice can also be used for just hair in general as well, not just locks. But I hope that y'all take this advice, use it, and that your locks flourish and grow and you achieve the desired length / healthiness of your hair that you want. So yes, I hope this advice was helpful for y'all. If y'all have any questions or anything, go ahead and comment those down below. I don't mind answering any questions that y'all have or any other videos that y'all want me to make about hair or locks in general. Like, I have so much advice that I can give. I love talking about locks. I love educating about this topic. So, you know, go ahead and comment. Let me know anything that y'all want to let me know. If y'all have any questions about products, what to use, different things like that, I can always make updated videos, because now my starter lock essentials videos and stuff have been out, you know, for quite a few months. So I can make new videos since I do have new information, new products that I use and everything. So yeah, thank y'all so much for watching this video. Be safe, stay blessed, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye, loves.